What's going on, traders? It's Ricky with Techbud Solutions. So thank you guys again so much for joining us for another Sunday Stock Talk. So pretty much for those that are joining, go ahead and skip probably to the 1 minute mark. I'm pretty much going to do the introduction. So Techbud Solutions, it's a networking group. So if you've ever wanted to get into trading stocks or getting started in investing, it's a free networking group that I started. We're sitting a little bit over 14,000 members worldwide, and the thing that we do best is share best practices, share mistakes, and efforts to promote growth. This is definitely one of the most welcoming communities and one of the most supportive, and something that I'm very passionate about that I've been able to create in a sense, not just this environment for everyone to learn, but this community of people that are really actually here to help one another out. So let's go ahead and get started. So our Sunday Stock Talks are pretty much recapping on last week's trading and what to prepare for this upcoming week. Last week we really focused on gappers, meaning that identifying huge drops, so chasing almost red stocks with huge drops or huge identifying in a sense margins of profit, right? So all of a sudden if there's a huge gapper from green to red or from red to green, meaning that they've created this gap of potential profit, right? I usually chase the red stocks. That's why that's usually what I talk about, meaning that stocks, for instance, let's say it was trading at $5, all of a sudden drops from $5 to $4, and now it's almost making its way back up. It's built this margin of potential profit that can, in a sense, it's most likely going to go back to that $5 mark, and because of that, I can ride it all the way up to that $5 resistance. But it comes down to you as an investor in identifying the support, setting up a plan, and making sure that it's showing signs of upward momentum, and then selling and not getting greedy. So that's definitely something that I've been focusing on. If you guys didn't see my video, I believe it was 2 days ago that I uploaded it. It actually became a lot popular than I expected. It was pretty much how to trade penny stocks. And what I talked about is pretty much the whole thought process. And one of the things that I focus on the most is not being that 90% of traders or investors who lose in the stock market. And how is it that you do that, right? What really comes down to learning, planning, and executing. That's something that I try to express as much as possible, because no matter in what it is that you try to pursue, if you don't learn what it is that you're trying to invest in or dedicate your time to, if you don't plan accordingly to plan for success, and then if you don't execute according and staying according to your plan, then you start breaking rules, you start kind of being all over the place, and you become a lot less disciplined. And if once you lose your discipline, then you just become an average Joe. And definitely the stock market is not for just anyone to get lucky and make money off of random just throwing your money in certain stocks and hoping for the best. If you're asking a question, and it's something that has been talked about a lot in our group, that it's actually very common. It's which stock should I be trading? Where should I be buying in? Where should I be selling? Those are questions that we completely want to avoid within the group. You should not be asking anyone what you should be trading in, where you should be buying, and where you should be selling. Because if you're asking those questions, then it really just comes down and really explains and exposes you as someone that really doesn't understand what it is that they're investing in. And you really, that doesn't mean that you should just quit penny stocks. You should just quit investing or quit whatever it is that you're trying to pursue. It really only just means that you have to go back and learn more. And in doing that, by learning more and then planning and learning kind of the ropes, right? So what we talk about is, this networking group that we created, there's nothing wrong with asking questions. In the initial or the principle of what should I invest in? Where are you looking to buy? Where are you looking to sell? There's nothing wrong with the exposure you experience within the group, and that's one of the biggest things, is that me as even one of the, I'm the founder of this group and this community, but I've been exposed to so much opportunity because of everyone's, in a sense, own opinion on certain stocks, that I've been able to take my knowledge, right, what I know how to do when it comes to investing, and I just, in a sense, get exposed to a stock that someone's talking about. I perform my technical analysis. I identify potential. I set up a plan for success, identifying where I'm buying, where I'm selling, where I'm going to cut my losses. I use different indicators to make sure that the stock is going to react the way I believe it is, based on how the graph is reflecting, in a sense, to me, right? Not just me hoping for the best, but understanding that, what it is that I'm planning makes sense according to the different indicators that I have going on within the platform that I'm using. And in doing so, then it comes down to actually executing, staying according to my plan, making sure I cut losses short, making sure I lock in my profits, because especially for this $1,000 challenge being one of the biggest, in a sense, just sense of what do you guys want to call it, like challenges that we created within Techbud Solutions. It's something that I think makes it very clear for everyone to understand, is that you don't need to be making 10% profit every single day to be seeing a return, right? With simply $1,000, that's why I started this whole thing. With $1,000, with this Robinhood account that you might have, that's a Robinhood margin account, simply 2.33% growth per day. So it can go according to your PDT rule. So average at 2.33% growth per day, 3 days a week, 4 times a month, 12 times a year, and you will grow $1,000 to $20,000 according to compounding interest, right? And it really comes down to you being disciplined, making sure that I created an Excel sheet for you guys to be able to, in a sense, manage your growth, right? Making sure that month to day you are staying according to plan, and also the prime berry picks, making sure that the stocks that you trade, you set up a criteria list, meaning that, and if anything, I feel like me talking about it probably won't do much. I want to make sure that I show you guys better off. But it's been something that I think not only for myself, throwing myself into this $1,000 challenge when I usually don't have a PDT rule restriction, has really exposed me to, really trying to make the most out of every single trade, and being, a well-rounded trader. Because yes, I guess the more money you have, the easier it is. But I don't want that to be, a reason that I say that I'm better than anyone else, because I don't think that I'm better than anyone else. I mean, I've worked hard enough to, not have to worry about the PDT rule, but putting myself back into the shoes of, having this PDT rule is really what I think can make me as a trader, and put me to the next level, because now I will, re-expose myself to just obstacles that I pretty much forgot to overcome, because of how easy it is to not have to worry about these restrictions. And that's really just it. I want to congratulate each and every one of you that locks in, whatever profit you guys do, anything from 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 30, 40% profit, whatever it is that you guys do. And if you guys have under a $25,000 account, it is difficult, right? Especially with those 3 PDT restrictions, especially within Robinhood. And I completely understand, and I'm putting myself in your guys' shoes. So I want to congratulate each and every one of you. Now, I wish I can recognize each and every one of you. So for every time that you guys learn something, for every time that you guys make a mistake, this whole part of Techbud Solutions, I want to make sure that you guys take it as a learning experience, but also for you guys to be the voice of this group. So to share, in a sense, to post within the Facebook Techbud Solutions platform, which the link is provided for you down below, to post, what you did good, what you did bad every single day. So people can read down the news feed and see, okay, well, this guy did this, let me learn from that, and the more mistakes that we make and the more best practices that we share, we will develop a more refined community to become better traders as a whole. And that's really what I want to promote. All this manipulation of, people trying to post like on stock tweets of like what they're investing in, that it's expected to see a 150% return. That's all BS. If it was going to receive 150% return, then they would have put all their money into it, right? In no way is this a group that I want any manipulation to be. And that is why we have those pending requests for posts, because we want to make sure that we filter out any manipulation posts or any stocks that are being talked about too much. One of the things that did come up that I read just a couple hours ago, and I'm sorry that I didn't read it because I have different moderators within Techbud Solutions, but there was a post that got approved, and it's a series of posts that get approved, and it's when people share their Robinhood link to join Robinhood, and you get like $3 or you get a free stock or something like that, right? It's pretty much it's your referral link through Robinhood, and people put referral links for different platforms. I want to make sure that when I say no advertising, that does not count as like advertising, because you're simply just sharing or providing a link for people to join the platform that we promote within Techbud Solutions. So it's just easier. It's just having access to it a little bit easier. So that was a confusion, and people are saying like, what's going on? I want to make sure that that's not something that's frowned upon, especially not within this community, because I believe there is a benefit or a perk in a sense getting more people to what I want to say to join Robinhood once you provide a link. I'm not too sure if that referral perk is still there, but pretty much I just wanted to talk about that. So I'm sorry that I'm not on the live stream right now. I'm going to try to see if I can get on it. Give me one quick second so I can pull that up, and then we should be solid. But I hope each and every one of you guys are having an amazing weekend. Thank you guys again so much for putting time aside on this weekend. This upcoming week, I hope you guys are excited as I am. I really look forward to Mondays. I know not a lot of people do. but it's one of my most favorite times of the week because I get to work with each and every one of you guys. And we just hit a little bit over 12,500 subscribers. So I can't thank you guys enough. If you guys aren't subscribed already, we'd really appreciate the subscription. And if you guys want to join Techbud Solutions, again, the link is provided for you down below. So I have the live chat now. I didn't before. Let me go ahead and close this up. And I can see that. And now I can see what you guys are saying. So I'm going to go ahead and start dedicating about 10 minutes and answering some of your guys' questions. And if you guys have any suggestions for videos, the best way to do it, just because this feed continues to add more things, is to DM me through the group chat platform within Techbud Solutions. So feel free to DM me within Techbud Solutions group chat once you get accepted, if you haven't done so, if you haven't been already. But right now, ask me any questions that you guys want me to answer, but to not perform technical analysis, because I'll do that at the end of the video. So I'm getting a couple questions. So where's the spreadsheet you use? So pretty much the spreadsheet that I use is, I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and see if I can do this, because I think this is very important for everyone to know that we have within the Facebook platform. So once you get accepted within the Facebook platform of Techbud Solutions, again, the link is provided for you down below in the description. So once you get accepted, you simply search for it in this group chat. I mean, going through these posts, it's kind of very difficult because hundreds of posts get posted every single day that we have to approve. So you can simply go to files, and I'm sure it's under there. But if anything, I call it the primary pick. So the PBP, I guess I should not call it. It's kind of hard to, what's it called? Let's see if it loads. Yeah, my internet's pretty slow because I have so many guys. But once it loads, it pretty much will show up this Excel sheet file, and then you guys can download it. And that's really just it. So here you go. This is where I shared it, right? You simply click download, and then once you click download, you're going to want to open it as an Excel file. So not as, but you're going to want to open it as in like a certain spreadsheet, right? And that's really just it. So alrighty, let me go ahead and start answering some of more of your questions. So all right, I'm sorry. There's certain people that I'm gonna filter out. Here you go. So did I ever sell MTBC? I did, yes. I sold it. I talked about it with my Fidelity account. I ended up selling. Oh, you're talking about my Robinhood account. I do apologize. So with my Robinhood account, my order never actually got filled to sell. My Robinhood, my Fidelity account did end up getting filled. I got it, got in at 167, ended up selling at 1.799. My Robinhood account, I did a little bit, I wasn't doing very well. So when it took a dip down to 166 and it was rising back up, I had my limit order to sell, and it never actually executed after market hours. And I have access to Robinhood Gold, so that was the only downside about that. So I'm gonna have to follow up with that and make sure I make a video to express, what I did wrong and what I did good. So, yeah. So writing with MG says, is my watch list behind me for tomorrow? No, that was for, that's supposed to say 5-4. I do apologize. But something that I've been doing within the Techbud Solutions group chat. Jeremy from Bo Bros or B Bros, whatever it is that you want to call them. I actually didn't see that. So they all, we went to the lake on Friday and they came over, and I guess they changed my quote. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, I haven't looked at this for a while. It was at 5:04 or 5:4 where this watch list was actually accurate. So I'm gonna post one tonight after I perform at least my minimum 10 minutes a day. If you guys saw my thing, like, how you should trade penny stocks, or how I trade penny stocks, as I talk about at least dedicating 10 minutes a day to performing technical analysis, identifying potential, setting up plans, and then setting up another 10 minutes aside pre-market hours to make sure that the stocks that you set aside make sense while the market is somewhat open, right, during pre-market. to prepare for, you know, the market open and then going into that. But yeah, these are not in a sense going to be 100%. I'm going to follow up and I'll post them by tonight. But that, yeah, those aren't in a sense. So John says Robinhood execution is slow. I agree. Thoughts on France election results? I don't know too much about that. You guys are asking a lot of questions about gold. Yeah. You guys are asking a good amount of questions. Let's see. I should probably start answering them. Am I in FMCX? No, I just shutted that out. So that's one that had a really big move, right, on Friday. I ended up not moving in. Again, my trades were very limited for Friday because of the activities that I was, in a sense, involving myself in, of going out to the lake and stuff. So I just tried to help out as much as I could, but I didn't want to, in a sense, risk my money when I wasn't going to be very active, just because, in a sense, we were on the boat and sometimes I was losing connection and stuff like that. So I didn't think it was going to be very smart to risk any money. Do double tops work? Yes. So it says, this is by Big Talk. Christopher says, with Macron winning in France, is JDST a good choice for tomorrow? U.S. stock market, gold will rise, gold is down. Will rise, gold is down. Yeah, so wait, when gold is down, I have to follow up with that. But there's an inverse of, you know, the different ETFs that we trade, JDST and JNUG. I believe those are bull ETFs, meaning that they rise when gold prices go up and when our economy goes down. So if our economy is going to be promoted, then JDST would be the inverse, the bear ETF. So that is correct, that you would, in a sense, want to watch out for to make sure that that's probably going to catch a rise. And if I'm not mistaken, that was slowly been taking a hit. Hopefully we can get a good kick on it tomorrow. So let's follow up with that one. I definitely think that'd be a good one to look out, which I'll write down in just a minute. So let me go ahead and see what else I can answer for you guys. Mentality do you get into when you trade? Then this is by Christopher. I apologize if I chopped up your name. So if you're talking about, I think, kind of like my mindset, right, when it comes to trading. Well, obviously here in Arizona, it's 6:30 Mountain Standard Time on the market opens. So obviously, if I don't wake up early enough, I'm kind of disoriented. Something that I try to do is I try to take a shower as soon as I wake up. And kind of just getting like refreshed. I come downstairs or either just trade in my bed. And I have a whole setup here downstairs with like the different screens that we have set up. But it really comes down to what it is that I see during pre-market hours. If I see something that I'm going to need, like, you know, if I have over 3 to 5 stocks that I'm going to have to be watching, I come downstairs because I can see it in multiple screens, and it makes it a little bit easier for me. But if I don't feel motivated, if I really don't feel very aggressive when it comes to actually like trading these stocks, then I make sure that, you know, I stick to the charts and make sure that they do the talking, and I just plan out accordingly. If I feel like really good, like in the mood, right, sometimes we play music, sometimes we have, you know, we're making breakfast and stuff like that with my different roommates. It's just a fun environment. Sometimes we're just hanging out, watching Netflix, having our different screens going on, setting our alerts, and it's just fun here at my house. And luckily, I'm like really blessed to be able to surround myself with these individuals that enjoy what it is that I do, and I'm able to share it with them. But all I say is, I mean, we have this networking platform, and although it's not something that you see in person, you know, try to see if like you can get any of your buddies involved, competing with one another, you know, helping one another out to see how you guys can, in a sense, just learn together. And it's definitely, I think, a very just interesting market. But it really comes down to having someone personally that I think can help you motivate. Or help motivate you, that can take you to the next level and making it more like, you know, real to work harder towards it, because you can see, you know, different rewards from one another. But that's really just it. I hope I answered your question. What do you see? I don't know. Can trade while in school. I'm 18, but I have an iPhone. You can trade while you're in school, but again, I don't recommend that, especially because if you get in trouble, I don't want to be a part of that. But yeah, and that's by Joshua Whitlock. I mean by overall income, like how much I make from day trading in my actual job. How do I join the $1,000 to $20,000 challenge? Well, I want to make sure that you guys are aware that, I mean, it's not in a sense that you guys have to be part of our group. I really just created this challenge to help you and motivate you to stay on track. So if some people are starting with $5,000, you can adjust that within the sheet that I created for you guys. Or if you're starting with more money, then you can start that as a principal. But anyone can join this $1,000 challenge. And really what I want you guys to understand is that this whole challenge is to help motivate one another to stay on track and see it as more of a job, right? Something that can actually provide an outline for you so you can go accordingly and hit a certain, like in a sense, quota, right? But that's really just anyone can join. We don't have, in a sense, a certain group chat just for that. When are you releasing the new chat platform? That's by Parker Jessup. That is definitely something I'm meeting up with my developers, I think Thursday or Friday. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to be following up with them and kind of seeing where it is that they are so far within the platform. I know I said that we were supposed to launch in May, but finals came up, and a lot of us, if not all of us, are students that are pretty much, in a sense, what make up Techbud Solutions that run it. So finals and all that really got in the way, and it really pushed us back with time. So I do apologize for that, but we want to make sure that the platform is refined and ready to go. And then we run a beta test, and then we'll, publish it out there for everyone to join. But that is something definitely in the works. Once I have this meeting, maybe I'll have a better outline for you guys, and then I can actually, provide a certain release date for the actual Techbud Solutions account-based platform. Worth it really comes down to, it allows you to trade aftermarket hours and allows you to trade with a margin account. But again, you have to pay $10 a month. As a trader yet, right? If you can't really make a profit off of account, then I wouldn't say invest, in that unless it's something that's restricting you, right? So Michael says, after all stocks going to be available in 5-cent increments in the future? If so, will you day trade? I think you're asking, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're asking, talking about like OTC stocks. You're talking about like increments of 0.05. I don't personally trade any stocks really that low. I try to stay away from stocks that are less than 50 cents. Really less than $1, but I have been trading some that are less than 50 cents. So I really try to stay away from that. But so why not just use the Slack for the chat room platform? This is by Ricky. Techbud Solutions platform, which will be an integrated platform that will provide everything for us. So we don't want to provide or use a third-party app. We want to be, in a sense, just our own platform, that everything for our members. Yeah, they're asking me if I'm going to post this. Yes, it goes. It posts right after, about like 30 minutes after, and then you guys can watch this if you guys haven't seen the first couple of minutes. But can I accept you to Facebook platform? Yeah, I have people that manage that, so they'll go ahead and probably accept you as long as everything looks good. So yeah, that's by the Rising Buffalo. So we'll make sure that we get to you by the end of today. Thank you again for asking to join. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the technical analysis portion, just because I want to make sure that I allow you guys to spend more time again with your family or whoever it is that you're spending time with, and not take too much of your time. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start opening my TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform, and in doing that, I want to make sure that I can perform technical analysis on the top 4 stocks. And I'm not going to ask you guys this time perform technical analysis stocks you guys want me to perform technical analysis on. The reason why is because within the Facebook Techbud Solutions platform, we had a poll for the top stocks that want to be analyzed for our Sunday Stock Talk. So let's go ahead and search for that, and then I'll talk about the top 4 stocks that we're talking about. I am going to talk about JDST because that was a good point that you guys brought up. But go ahead and pull that up. So I do apologize again for the delay. For the meanwhile, for those that haven't done so already, if you guys can I would really appreciate it. You know, that would be great. Alrighty, so let's see. So it's all loading right now. If you guys want to start sharing what you guys did this weekend or this week, if you guys had any highlights, I'm sure that I'd like to stories. All right, so we have the top stocks. Wow, 177 people said AMD. I think I know why, because I had such a big trade. MTBC was a big one. DRYS and Ford. And I'll just throw in another one. CCCR was also one of the top 5. So I'll go ahead and add that, and then JDST. So let me go ahead and get right to it. I'm signing into my Thinkorswim platform right now. And again, I did make a video on how you guys can have access to this for free as long as you guys live within the United States. So that is it. Yeah, and that's really just it. So we're going to be talking about JDST, AMD, MTBC, DRYS, Ford, and CCCR, because that is what everyone voted within the Facebook platform as the top 5 stocks, right? Now, if you guys, I'm going to create a poll maybe tonight or on Monday for this upcoming Sunday Stock Talk, or maybe I should probably make it on Tuesday or Thursday so it's a little bit more relevant. Let me know what you guys think, but I'll go ahead and post that, and then make sure you guys vote for the stocks that you guys want us to analyze. And it's pretty much an open poll, so you guys can add as many options as you guys want. So let's go ahead and see if it's on me in. Here we go. I have the Thinkorswim platform up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I see. So people are talking Apple being a future trade within in the near future because of the new iPhone 8 possible release. So that is definitely something to look out for. But let's go ahead and start looking. So let's look at JDST. The reason that we're looking at JDST, I want to make sure that you guys understand, is because supposedly about this the new, right, within France, I believe, just got elected, and supposedly that's going to be good news for our economy, bad news for gold. This is a bear ETF, meaning that this is for JDST, meaning that it goes up when our economy goes up, and go up when our economy goes down. So that's just a good trend to understand, right? Based on the previous trend, so right now it's trading right about 90. It looks like it has a pretty nice support. It had a bounce at 90. It had a resistance, and you can tell that it had the resistance during aftermarket hours. If you guys see what it is that I'm talking about, it had this bounce here at 90 cents, 90.41. Had a resistance, $94. Came back down, didn't hit as low as it did the previous, support. That's showing, it's showing upward momentum. So like a casing, right? Right as the market was closing, and then aftermarket again struggled to go and break above really this resistance that it built right here around like what is this? Pretty much $94. So if we can break above $94, the old resistance becomes a new support, and and it will be reacting like this. So we'll have a new resistance right around here at $100, 101. So this can be a whole other trade and be bouncing within this area, but really depends on how it opens tomorrow. So this is definitely going to be one that I'm going to be watching after market hours. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and set my alerts. And by setting my alerts, I'm gonna put when it goes above 94.18. And I'm also gonna put my alert as that's the support, and create the alert when it goes below this point. It's that simple, right? So that's for JDST. Now AMD. AMD looks like it has a resistance here right around 1020. It has a support right around here at 993. So potential for profit, not that much, especially for a 90-cent stock. Does have a gap, and this gap that I'm talking about is this gap from about $10.20 to $10.60. That's a 40 cent. Is it worth the trade for a $10 stock? I mean, you're talking about 4% profit with the potential for loss of from 1020 down almost 990. So I would like, again, my RSI indicator showing that it's a little bit overpriced. As you guys can see right here, I'd like to get it a little bit closer point where it was right here, and that's more at that below that $10 mark. So I'm going to set my alerts when it goes below. And again, this is just my whole thought process. $10, and then if it breaks above this resistance, I'd like to know, because then we'd know that it's gapping, right? So when it goes above 6, but just to be up to date, it looks like it has a solid support here. So create alert when it goes below this point. A little support resistance line if you guys want to screenshot it and stuff like that, or whatever it is that you guys want to do. Support, and that's beautiful. What I mean is, like, bounce here at 94, hit the resistance that we're talking about right here at 1020, came back down, bounce at that same support it did before, and then rode back up, and it's just kind of like flatline right here at that resistance area. So hopefully we can see an upward trend. If not, then we'll most likely see a bounce here. And if we plan on getting in at 990, again, make sure that you identify a solid bounce, upward momentum, right, with the SMA or EMA, whatever it is that you use to indicate that, to make sure that you catch the bounce. Because with these, valuable 3D or the PD2 rule restrictions, you want to make sure that you catch it at a good time. So AMD within the past couple of days, 5 days, shows to be on a downward trend, and definitely has a huge gap to make up. This is definitely one that you're going to want to look out for. And if I'm not mistaken, AMD is actually the stock that took a huge step because it didn't meet revenue target. And AMD is one of the devices that are used in our iPhones. So this is definitely a company to look into because it does have a large margin for potential profit if Apple's going to continue to use them. So I have my alert set. I'm ready to go, and I'll go ahead and plan a little bit later. A little bit closer. Volume on. Wow, I didn't even type it in right. All right, this is one that ended up doing very well on Friday that I just shouted out, but I shut out at 83 cents and then ended up skyrocketing to about almost like 119, 120. And now built a new support around 92 cents, resistance around $1. I honestly think it's going to continue seeing a downward trend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alert here simply when it breaks below that point, and if it breaks above this resistance at $1, then why not notify me, and maybe I can jump on in. But I just want to make sure that I stay up to date. But pretty much what I see here again is the support here around 93 cents, around 90, right? Resistance here at $1. So it does have potential for profit, but with DRYS being such a quick stock that might see really quick volume, might not be the safest trade to do, especially if it starts seeing a downward trend. So make sure you cut losses quick, have a plan where you're buying in, where you're selling, and make sure to not get greedy with this stock. But that's pretty much it for DRYS. Let's talk about all right, this one that I was supposed to be looking at. So it shows to have a consistent downward trend, usually has a pretty solid drop within the first 30, 40 minutes of the market open, builds its support and then slowly rides up. So again, builds its support and then it's back up, builds its support and rides back up. Gap, built its support, rides back up. So again, just make sure you, based on its previous trends, shows signs of just consistent downward trends. So, I mean, really just right. So maybe around 140s where we can catch it tomorrow. If it consistently shows a downward trend. Currently has a support at around 165 right now. So I'll set my alerts right there. Easy. And then set my alerts if it breaks the resistance right around 85, and that's a huge margin for profit. So, and the RSI shows that it's overbought right now, so we're most likely going to see again a downward trend and more of a bounce right around here, around like 160 maybe, or maybe 140, 150. So let's go ahead and wait for tomorrow. Let's just set your alerts, plan quickly. These, some drops, because these gaps that these penny stocks fill are definitely something that you want to react quick to, but make sure that you plan accordingly. And the reason that we're talking about this is because of this huge gap that it built right in this $11 stock. Again, this is a Ford Motor Company, built to support right around here, around 1090, and has slowly been seeing an upward trend. I've been getting in around 1090. My original time I got in at 1091, ended up selling pretty early. Is now showing signs of upward trends, upward momentum. So it currently has a resistance right here around 118, 120, 1118, 1120. So let's just go ahead and set the alerts there. I really want to get alerted when it goes below 11. So let's go ahead and get alerted when it goes below that. But just wanted to let you guys know this is more for a swing trade because it's seen such a big downward trend. CCCR doesn't have a lot of volume based on what I can see. Solid support there. Showed signs of upward momentum, hit its peak, and now showing a downward trend. So if anything, it does have like solid bounces and then makes its way back up. Not too sure if it's going to be worth, risking all that, especially because of this huge bounce that it had. If I'm not mistaken, let me go a little bit further back. Yeah, so it has more of a solid support around 132. Saw a huge upward trend and is now staircasing on its way back down. So it has a support now around 211. So I'll go ahead and create an alert when it goes below that. And then let me get a little bit closer. Looking at this. All right, RSI showing that it's about to just break above, so hopefully we can see an upward trend. SMA, and then RSI doesn't show this to be such a healthy stock within the day trade, right? And that's what we are, day traders. During this 5-day analysis, doesn't show to be very well. SMA doesn't show to be well. And again, those are one of my indicators that I need to make sure that before I actually trade a stock. So CCCR might not be a stock that I might actually look at. But guys, it really comes down to, again, really just like repeating everything over and over again when performing your technical analysis. Whatever it is that you guys do to plan, whatever you guys have to do to make sense, to invest in, to make sure that you identify the potential, plan out a plan on where you're buying, where you're selling, where you're cutting your losses, and then share it. Why not share it with the group actually before you do it, or even after you do, regardless of what it is. But just, I feel like the more you share, the more you write it out, and the more you practice it, the easier it will be for you guys to make sense of, why planning is so important, why cutting your losses is so important, stuff like that. So again, I can't thank you guys enough. I know I say it all the time. I think that large community, if you guys haven't seen already, within the Techbud Solutions Facebook platform, we just hit a little bit over 10,000 members. And with overall platforms that we have available, we hit a little bit over 4,000, 12,500 subscribers. It's just something so unreal. And really, although we come from huge and variety of backgrounds, the thing that we all have in common is wanting to be successful and really wanting to help one another out. And it's been this community that I think is really here to make the difference and to kind of break the barrier of those that know and those that don't know when it comes to trading stocks, providing this clear and simple platform for everyone to learn. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the help that you guys have been doing, posting all your just watch list, posting what you guys are thinking about, posting and having conversations with one another and being so supportive. That's all I really ask, just help one another out and make money, right? That's really all that we can do. So you could be up by 5:30, 5:50 Mountain Standard Time. That's 8 a.m. for tomorrow morning. It open, and I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. Again, if you guys want to join, the link just provided for you down below. It is a free networking group, and if you guys can subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. So that we end the year on a green note, and I hope you guys have an amazing and safe weekend. Take care, guys.